Alrighty then, we are starting Super Mario Galaxy today, another one of my favorite games. I'm very excited about this. Interesting. I am going to start a new file. Actually, wait a minute, did I do something wrong? This doesn't look right. Yeah. Anyway, just gonna kick off here with Mario file because the opening doesn't play for Luigi, so if we end up, regardless of who wins the poll I'm currently running, I am still going to have to play this opening bit as Mario. Every 100 years, a comet appears in the skies above the Mushroom Kingdom. The comet was so large one year, it filled the skies and sent countless shooting stars raining down. The Toads brought the shooting stars to the castle, where they became a great power star. It should have been a very happy time for the citizens of the Mushroom Kingdom. How was the night of the Star Festival, held once every 100 years to celebrate the comet?
Dear Mario, I'll be waiting for you at the castle on the night of the Star Festival. There's something I'd like to give you. From Peach.
Alrighty then, so we are jumping straight into the game. This is the new version, by the way, if anyone was wondering. Picked it up mostly because I knew I was going to be streaming the game soon, and also because Galaxy 2 is a game I haven't played very often. So there was, I ran a poll, Luigi won, so we will be switching over after the prologue, but I do want to go through this first and foremost. The cutscenes were actually scaled up a bit to be full screen instead of like letterboxed, so that's nice. They're still very low resolution, which makes me wonder like if it's like an encoding thing. Hi Chibi, welcome on in. Princess Peach, you're formally invited to the creation of my new galaxy. It's so weird going from Super Paper Mario to this, where Bowser's like back to being threatening and not just a goober. Wahahaha. Like, it's so fascinating. This festival's over. So yeah, it's very fascinating, the dichotomy of Bowser being either kind of a goofball side villain to like, you know, actually a main threat, kind of. And it's an interesting duality. Again, this game would have been the same year, actually, as Super Mario, or Super Paper Mario. So again, the dichotomy of Bowser portrayals in just the same year is rather stark. Yeah, we're just gonna run through this little opening bit and jump over to clear file. So long, enjoy your flight. Again, it's weird how some things are voiced and other things are, like Peach's Slider's voice, even though it's admittedly very quiet. And off he goes. So, we're just gonna close the game now. Again, I ran a short poll. That was the wrong profile. What am I doing? Wow, I'm not locked in today, apparently. Luigi. So when I beat the game, I decided to just keep a file on standby, because I plan ahead sometimes. So because I planned ahead, this should be the right file. Yeah, Luigi 0. So I'm gonna keep that, so I just have a Luigi file on standby at all times. We're just gonna copy that over, and we're gonna jump in, like so. Alrighty then, for real this time, we are Luigi. Finally, you're awake. Let's play. The UFO briefly appears in the last level. I actually forgot about that, to be honest. Anyway, come on, jump with B. So first order of business is to follow the Star Bunny. To a whole group of other Star Bunnies. Let's play hide and seek. If you catch all of us, we'll tell you about where you are. Sounds like a good plan. And there they go. So, to point out some differences right away, Luigi has his classic physics. He is a little bit slippery, but is a little bit like, I think he's slightly faster and also jumps higher. He caught me. He might not actually run faster. I knew I should have hidden in the crater. So the funny thing is the bunnies all narc on each other. So, they basically tell you where the others are hidden. So it's like, oh, I knew I should have hidden in the pipe. So they're very good at this. You caught me. I knew I should have hidden in the crater. Yeah, because we did the crater one already. Yeah, funny thing, when I first booted up this game, I definitely got motion sick. As someone who presumes that they have mild vertigo, this is not necessarily the easiest game to just casually jump into. It definitely kind of threw me for a loop at first. I kind of get used to it, admittedly, but it's still not the most pleasant experience sometimes. Alright, last Banui. I can't believe I let myself get caught. Alright, this one's different colored. Wow, you caught all of us. Maybe you really can help Mama. And here's the mama they're talking about. There's an obvious joke here. I'm not gonna make it. I'm gonna show restraint for once. Alright, what do you have to say? Sorry about bringing you here so suddenly. We should probably tell you where you are. There's a connection here to deep space from far from your lands. We call it the gateway to the starry sky. Alright. Mama's waiting up above. Please help her with whatever she asks. Alrighty, so let's go say hi to their mom. Who is who kind of needs no introduction, I feel, at this point. It's weird seeing Luigi's overalls having that much detail to them. It's still weird. I've been watching you from here. This place is called the Gateway to the Starry Sky. My name is Rosalina. I watch over and protect the cosmos. To save your special one, you'll need the power to travel through space. Luma can give you this power. I will entrust you with his care. You have the ability to spin now. Shake the controller. You can also spin with Y, thank God. Disaster struck us just as as it has visited you. With Luma, I hope you can rescue the grand stars. May the stars shine down on you. Neat. Alrighty then. We now have our main ability in the game, I'd say. Shake the controller, press Y to spin into things that look breakable. You can even spin enemies to stun them. So yeah, we can break these crystals and get on our merry way. Again, I'm using a Pro controller, by the way. I'm not using Joy-Cons. So this will be fun and not problematic at all. Hi there, good to see you. I have some bad news though. See, I had a launch star all ready for you, but a meteor smashed it up. You can't leave without it, so find all the star chips to fix it. Oh, and be sure not to fall in the black hole. I mean, that's generally good advice. Where are all those star chips? Alrighty then, so... because Luigi has worse traction, I'm definitely going to be eating dirt a lot in this playthrough, I feel. I consider myself pretty decent at Mario Galaxy. I am not entirely confident in the Luigi playthrough specifically. It's actually a game I've almost considered suggesting a race for, but the only problem with racing this game is it's kinda long. So that is my one concern with that. Where the hell's the last one? Am I just really misremembering? 80% shouldn't be too long? True. Oh, it's behind here all along. Oopsie. Again, it's genuinely weird having the grass look this detailed, but again, they did redo all the texture work. A lot of it's has a lot more fine detail, which is kinda nice, but again. Hello. Get me out of here! One of those enemies should have the key. You can shake the controller, press Y to spin them around and make them dizzy. Once they're stunned, just run into them. Make them dizzy, you say? Again, I swear it can be normal. You can set a timer and see who has the most stars instead of playing to completion. True. I don't think that would... yeah, like maybe 3 hours for me, my limit. I've kind of thought about that with Sunshine too, but Sunshine's a whole different beast. Thanks, would you mind rescuing my buddy in that base up there? I'll transform into a sling star. Just jump into me after I transform. Cool. Moving right along, we have this little plant, these little... wow, okay. So, a weird quirk is sometimes when you're holding a direction and land somewhere, the... character you're playing will start just running in a circle. Which is a problem not exclusive to like 3D All-Stars onward. This is a problem I've had in the original and other people have as well. So that is not exclusive to like Switch versions of this game. Hurry, down here. Alrighty. Yeah, it's actually pretty long. Surprisingly so. We've been waiting for you. That's a Grand Star. We have to save it. They're using the Grand Star to power that awful machine. It looks like it's making something. We have to do something before the Grand Star's power is drained. Quick, find a way to stop that terrible machine. Alright, turning off the panels so they're all blue. But yeah, like 64, 80% is not that bad. Especially if you 16-star it. Sunshine? I wonder about Sunshine. Turn off the flip switches on the floor to shut down this machine. Yeah, I think Sunshine's the big question mark for me of like, how long could Sunshine take for a race? Because I genuinely don't have a good answer to that question. As much as I love Sunshine, I almost always play it 100% to the point where I actually don't have a good judge of how long that would take. Because I'm one of those people who just always 100% Sunshine for some ungodly reason, even though it, you know, against my better judgment, I probably shouldn't. Anyway, we got our first star, and it's the Grand Star at that. These are used to unlock new biomes in the place we're going to next. I almost was like, oh, this place. It's like, wait a minute. We haven't seen it yet. You think everyone has one of those games to replay and do everything? Yeah, that's true. Also, hi, welcome on in. I hope everyone's doing well. Yeah, Spyro, Prison, that tracks. I need to get better at Spyro for reasons. Anyway, first Grand Star collected. And we got a little power to the observatory. Yours is Squeak Squad. That's a very short game, at least, so 100% isn't that bad. Even with a migraine, I 100% in 3 hours last, like, a few streams ago. So yeah, it's not that bad. Got a star, Grand Star Rescue, Gateway Galaxy. I don't think I should read all this out. High score update, you increase your star bit count. You've discovered a new galaxy. You 100% and I do any percent. The beacon is lit again. It shines weakly, maybe only as bright as a class 6 star, but at least the poor Lumas will survive now. Oh, thank you for saving the Grand Star. These star people are my family. They mean so much to me. Welcome to the Comet Observatory. It's my home, and also home to the Lumas. You see, we travel the starry skies. We pass by this area once every 100 years, but we suddenly stopped in front of this planet. A strange force had latched on to our ship, pulling away star bits and our power source, power stars. Our ship had lost power, so it entered a deep hibernation state in which it could not move. Those who took your special one picked up the power stars and discovered the power to cross the universe. Please, I have a request. This observatory uses star power to project images of the galaxies that are scattered across space, and there is a chance we can use our few remaining stars to look for other power stars. These round rooms are called domes. We observe galaxies from domes, such as these, but the only one that is working now, powered by the star power you restored, is this one, the terrace. Please go to the terrace and try to recover the power stars from the galaxies you can see from there. If we do that, we'll be able to restore the Comet Observatory's ability to fly like a starship. Then perhaps we can pursue the thieves who ran off with the power stars. Hell yeah. One interesting change in the more recent Switch version is the game autosaves instead of like prompting you to save every time. Welcome, this dome acts as an eye of the observatory. From here, we can gaze upon distant galaxies. Once this Luma transforms into a pole star, he will guide you to those faraway galaxies. Simply point your cursor at the pole star and press A. If you lose sight of the cursor, you can reset it with R. If you're playing in handheld mode, you can just tap the pole star directly on the screen. So this is the fun part of the Switch version. The motion controls. Anyway. These are the galaxies that can be observed from this dome. The numbers represent their distance from the observatory. The bigger the number, the greater the distance. The more power stars you find, the farther you will be able to travel. So only one galaxy available for now, which is the Good Egg Galaxy. There's a joke here somewhere. Yes, it's undeniable. We're detecting power star energy patterns in the nearest galaxy, but I must warn you that the evil energy readings are off the charts. Please be careful. Alrighty then, first star time. Hope everyone is having a good day, by the way. Looking forward to hopping into this game. First up is Dino Piranha, so nice little easy mission to start out with, I think. If I recall correctly. My day is something, and I don't want to elaborate, if I'm being perfectly honest. But, it feels nice to be playing Mario Galaxy, to be honest. But yeah, I hope, this playthrough goes relatively smoothly. I'm kind of worried about a few things, because, having just played the game twice through, there were definitely parts I struggled with more than I remembered. Anyway, hi. We just warped over here. To pick up star bits, scattered around the galaxies, touch them with your cursor. In handheld mode, you can also collect them by tapping directly on the screen. Collect 50 to get a 1-up, and it really wouldn't hurt to store some up. Now point the controller at the screen and collect as many star bits as you can. Grab the star bits with your cursor, Luigi. God, I remember being like in the hype period of this game in like 2006 on like dial-up internet. I'm not kidding. Looking up every like scrap of information on this game I could possibly find. I was so normal as a kid. Because like it was shown off at like E3 and, you know, Space World and stuff like that. So I was just constantly trying to find more info on this game. Again, it is one of my favorite 3D Mario. It's probably my favorite 3D Mario. I love Sunshine because I grew up with it. But it's kind of scuffed, I'm gonna be real. So you can actually skip this very easily as Luigi. The spin kind of has a magnetism to it, so if you spin near a star, it'll pull you in. So we just skip the pulse, like a sling star. If you get hurt, grab a coin to patch yourself up. Pick up a coin to restore some life. Cool. You can also break these boulders by hitting the little red shiny part. I always like that. It kind of looks like jelly, kinda. But yeah, I should probably have given a motion sickness warning for this game earlier. But hey, motion sickness warning. This game's a lot at times. Where the hell's the last one? Why am I having such a hard time finding things today? Like I'm oh, there it is. I'm gonna get clipped by the boulder probably, it's fine. Oh, we lived. Cool. This also bodes well because we'll have to do this again later on. So yeah, that'll be fun. Hi, who are you? Grab a spraddle vine and shake the controller to twist. Twirl it up. You can also twirl with Y. There's a recurring gag of like the billboards having names in this game. I was wondering if that was one of them. It was not. There's like Gilboard and Billboard, and I think there's a couple others. I don't know if Jillboard is one. Little thing under the planet. Creating star bits to collect. We do need a lot of star bits, like over thousands over the course of this playthrough. So ideally, I would like to collect quite a few. There's two routes here. One is through this pipe, so we might as well... This is like the slower one, actually, so we'll show it off now. Next time we come through here will be a time trial. So, yeah. We'd rather not mess with this slow-ass area. You earned one additional Luigi. Okay. Right, slippery. I forgot, very briefly. That was almost very bad. Like, I don't know. I'm just feeling kind of like... Wait, okay, that does take us where we need to go. Yeah, that is way slower. We got these little enemies that have a ton of star bits, so that's nice. Also one thing worth noting, oh hi. Watch out, after you spin once, you have to wait until your Luma comes back before you can spin again. So you can see the Luma pop up really briefly. That's to basically indicate you can spin again. A nice little diegetic timer of sorts. But with that, we actually should be on the boss, right? We immediately get thrown into a boss fight, which I guess isn't unusual, because, you know, King Babam, Petey Piranha... Petey Piranha was mission 2, though, actually. Though you can do that mission first, if you so please. Anyway, the titular Dino Piranha. Just crack an egg open, real quick. This fight's not that bad. Now, in Galaxy 2, it kinda sucks, cause, like, time limits and stuff. It's not even just... Oh, and also there's a variant near the end of this game that also pops up in Galaxy 2, and this is part of a really annoying mission, and I don't like it. I will also say, I get why, like, what am I trying to say? It's like, it's fascinating that, you know, Galaxy 2 is such a different feeling game to this game. That's a whole topic to get into at some point. It's just like the differences between Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, because the entire vibe of the games feel very different, to the point where I think Galaxy 2 is objectively a better game in some ways, but Galaxy 1 still holds a place near and dear to my heart for a lot of, you know, personal reasons. Those are star bits. To Lumas, they are the tastiest, most delectable treats imaginable. Aim your controller at the screen and point your cursor at them to pick them up. If you're playing in handheld mode, you can also collect star bits by tapping them directly on the screen. Once you have some, shoot them by aiming with the cursor and pressing ZR. Cool. Why don't we try it out? Aim at me and feed me some star bits. Alright, so we gotta pick them up and then give them to... I think this is Polari, right? That's the ticket. Tasty. Let's call those little morsels my fee for this lesson. You can also shoot them at enemies or feed them to a hungry Luma. Either way, I'm sure star bits will be a big help on your adventure. So we bank star bits after every stage, but I will also argue that lives are not really worth grinding for because, to be blunt, everything resets. A snack of cosmic proportion. So like when you turn off the game, oh hey, there go all your lives. So we're not gonna stockpile that much. The only times I would consider stockpiling lives would be like if I was doing the perfect run, which I'm not, because this is Galaxy 1. So I'm spared a little bit at least. I've thought about making Galaxy 2 a sub-goal, or like a donation goal. Because, truth be told, as much as I do enjoy Galaxy 2, I don't know if I want to go through that game without any kind of incentive. That game is hard. That game is way harder than this one, in my opinion. Not even just because of the perfect run, like a lot of the last stages in that game are pretty rough. Even some of the early ones are pretty rough, like some of the special missions are annoying as hell. So yeah, that's definitely kind of a donation goal kind of game. As much as I am kind of wanting to play through the game again, it's like not my idea of a great time, if that makes sense. I've got a hungry friend up ahead. You don't mind sharing your snacks, do you? Head forward using the Pulse Star and Launch Star. If you're in handheld mode, you can just tap the Pulse Star and Launch Star directly? Wait, you can tap the Launch Star? What? I don't feel like it works that way. It's always interesting in this version because everything's higher res. A lot of things stand out a little bit more of like what is actively loaded in and not loaded in. So for example, low-res versions of planets you don't go to are visible, which might not be as obvious on like a Wii because it's much lower res. It's 480p. Even running through a Wii U, it's basically 480p upscaled. And not particularly well at that. Hence why for Super Paper Mario, I use the filter option part of a homebrew application to get rid of the filter because it makes Wii games look really blurry. So this level's interesting, it kind of loops on itself. That star I think takes you all the way to the end. But this whole section loops around to allow you to get enough star bits for the Hungry Luma on this little Yoshi egg. So, truth be told, I don't remember how much this one needs, so everyone has a different amount, and some of them are kind of strict, especially in Galaxy 2. In some cases, they actually want coins in Galaxy 2, which can also be a pain in the ass, because you have to actually pick them up instead of just pointing a cursor at them. Anyway, hi. Hey you, yeah you, got any tasty star bits? If you feed me a bunch of star bits, I'll burst with snacky happiness and then transform. I'm famished. I need 100 star bits to curb the hunger pangs. So hungry. More. Like the KDA song, I have to get one in. I have not been talking about K-pop nearly as much lately. That's it, I'm stuffed. Here we go. Transform! Type fixation is still there, I just have less reason to talk about it, basically. A new planet was born. So the cycle of life is that the Lumas will turn into, like, stars. Or planets in some cases, so, all I know about the Mario movie in terms of the Luma and that is that it's very interesting, and I don't know how to elaborate on it. I haven't actually seen the Mario movie still. I guess I probably should. I have my reasons for not wanting to watch it, to be honest. I haven't even seen the third Sonic movie, to be honest. I hear that one's actually pretty alright. And I am curious about Sonic 4 for a few reasons, but I just unfortunately, I'm bad at actually watching things, I've discovered. Like, I kind of tune out a lot in movies, and not even because I'm, like, not enjoying them, but just because I have bad focus issues. So, like, I tried watching a movie with friends recently, and I kind of zoned out during a couple parts of it, but it was enough. I saw enough of it to understand the basic premise of it, and, like, get all the context and everything. But there are definitely cases of, like, me just zoning out and not actually picking up on what the movie's trying to say. The biggest issue I have is dubs, or like subtitled works, because then I have to pay attention, because yeah, no, I can't just go off audio. I have to actually read everything that's being said. Like, trying to watch anime, I realize, actually, that's part of the reason I stopped watching anime as much, is because of how bad my focus issues have gotten. Because it's just impossible for me to actually pay enough attention to an anime. There's a 1-up over there, probably. I don't care, because again, they're gonna reset anyway, once we're done streaming for today. So, I'm not gonna go out of my way for that. Yeah, it's that 1-up there. Coins are kind of interesting. They track them, but also, like, why would you... Like, Goombas, the way they work, and a couple other enemies, I think, is if you spin to defeat them, you get star bits. If you jump to defeat them, you get coins. So you can basically determine if you want coins or, like, to restore health, mainly, or if you just want something else. So you're supposed to grab the Pulsar chips. You can just do this. You can do this as Mario, too. It's not, like, a Luigi-specific thing. It's like, you can just make that long jump, no problem. It's like, I don't understand why that's the case, but it is. Anyway, up to 3, that unlocks the next galaxy. You've discovered a new galaxy. Oh, this one's very notorious. Well done, brave explorer. You've discovered a new galaxy. Collecting power stars will expand our range of vision, perhaps to eventually include the enemy base. So I'm gonna be real, this playthrough structure is gonna be a hot mess, probably. Because of how you actually unlock things in this game. I'm probably going to go in a really weird order for some things. For example, like in Sunshine, I like getting everything and then fighting the final boss. You can't do that in Galaxy. You have to beat the final boss to unlock post-game. The problem is, to unlock the true 100% reward, specifically for Luigi, and that also unlocks for the Mario side once you beat it as Luigi. So I would have used the completion file to show that off if need be. But the problem with that is, like, we have to fight the final boss twice at some point in this playthrough, and I don't like that. It's one of my least favorite choices in modern Mario games. And also, like, you know, Bonanza kind of does it too, for like true ending and stuff, so I'm not really a big fan of having to refight final bosses to unlock the true ending. Whoa, you saved me! Thanks, Luigi! In return, I'll tell you a secret about this place. Apparently, those spiky things just hate coconuts. Shake the controller, press Y to smack them with coconuts. So I'm gonna say this now, so I don't forget. There's an Easter egg in this game, where if you get 9999 star bits, you will have the coconuts turn into melons, if I'm not mistaken. Galaxy 2 changes it, so I think it's 999 coins, because 9999 star bits does something else in Galaxy 2. And that's also something that changed in the Switch 2 version, from what I gather. I haven't finished the Switch 2 version of Galaxy 2 myself, so I can't vouch for this, but apparently this, like... The way it works is you have to collect 9999 star bits on a file, And that permanently unlocks it for that profile, basically. That's what I've read, at least. I can't vouch for that, because I haven't done it. And I also would have to do a second playthrough of Galaxy 2 to verify that. You transformed into Rainbow Luigi. You're invincible. So with the power of Gay, in this game, we can now... Okay, get motion sick. Cool. But we can also just plow through all the enemies. No problem. We're gonna even break these like big chomps, which is good to keep in mind for the future, because we'll definitely be needing to break some of those later on. But yeah, this is kind of a nice little mellow playthrough. I'm glad Galaxy lined up the way it did, because I kind of needed just a vibe game. To be honest. Bullet Bill's automatically home. There's no like variation like a red Bullet Bill like in some games. It's just they're all homing. So that's kind of interesting. But also, this should take us to the boss, right? So yeah, nope, we're not there yet. Got that little UFO, little looking platform up there, but also some airships. The funny part is, with any game that has a cursor, is you can tell how bad I stim. Hi. Your attacks will reach those mean-looking aliens, but here's a great idea. What if you tried to bounce something back at them? So yeah, for example, the amount of cursor movement is mostly just because I'm like bobbing my leg a lot, so it's causing the cursor to like vibrate uncontrollably. Like, I just kind of stim a lot. Like, this is me trying not to move my leg. Like, it's significantly more still. But that's just kind of me, and again, you can see just how bad my stimming can get. Okay. Cool. This should take us to the boss. I'm kind of skimming star bits, to be honest. I'm not being overly careful. Anyway, this is another tutorial. Hi. Be careful, there's big danger up ahead. If things get really bad, shoot a star bit at one of those lights on the ground. Then a coin will pop out. Grab it to replenish some of your life. So that's a very helpful tip. It also goes for these little like green plants on certain planets near bosses. You might have noticed that in like the Dino Piranha fight, maybe. I don't actually know if I passed by one. This is King Caliente. Again, this is always a fun thing because this was a very early fight shown off in the early demos of the game. A lot of things did change, admittedly, so a lot of things do not reflect in the final version from the original showcases. But this is a case of a boss being relatively retained. Nice showcase for the Wii emote. I got overzealous. So it should be 3 volleys this time. And we're done. Nice. I always like the look of this plant, the way that the heat's like shimmering on it. This is dumb. Yeah, we had enough health that we were fine, but that was definitely a risk. It's all swirly. It's very like... I was gonna say mesmerizing, I'm like, is that the word I want to use? I like water textures in games. I like liquid movement in games, just because I think it's fascinating being able to animate. Like fluid sims in games are just always really fascinating to me. Anyway, next up is the Honey Hive Galaxy, a very notorious one, I would say. V Luigi takes flight, so we get a new power up here if the name didn't give it away. Our goal is to make it to the Bee Queen. The Bean for short, I guess. But this mission's mildly notorious for reasons. Right at the start, you can turn around and find a big M in the sky. There's also a 1-up, but again, I don't care that much. Anyway, hi. Welcome to the Honey Hive Kingdom. Our queen rules this land. Very helpful. There's also like a dithering pattern almost in the sky. It's really weird, and it stands out in this level more than the others. New bees must greet Her Highness, the Queen Bee. I need to actually boot up like the Wii version, like with the filtering turned off, like through Homebrew, and see if the pattern in the sky is that visible there. I doubt it would be, just because it's still very low res. So that gives us the bee mushroom. This isn't the way to the castle, you know. Those green and blue duds are kind of nerdy. What the hell? How rude. But this game is also a big deal from the perspective of this is the first time Luigi is actually playable in a 3D Mario game. At least, I think, because like... Well, if we're being technical, it would be Super Mario 64 DS, I guess. But like... Basically what I mean is... Super Mario 64 had the whole, like, fountain statue that one was like, oh my god, L is real. That whole thing. And then Sunshine did not have any other playable characters besides Mario. And then, so Luigi actually being unlockable in this game is a very cool Easter egg. Again, it just creates the problem of completion kind of sucking, because you have to beat the game twice. If you want to, like, 100% it. Alright, B. That is correct. Actually, do I even need it? Can I just cheese this? Cool. Again, there's some fun stuff you can do as Luigi that you can't really do as Mario. This hole leads to the Queen's Castle. See that? It's our castle. What a castle! It just looks like a big-ass plateau. But also, the game does expect you to know what you're doing. You transformed into B Luigi. Hold B to buzz around. The castle's past this wall, it's true. B is never a lie. Well, that's good to know. But there's like a specific race missions where they increase the difficulty for Luigi specifically because they kind of assume you know what you're doing. Full disclosure, I will probably botch the races a few times just because, yeah, I know, they actually are legitimately kind of difficult. So, yeah, off we go. Almost making it to the Queen. Yeah, I have so many memories of playing this game. Again, this was like one of my most anticipated games. I say that a lot, actually. That, like, games of this era were my most anticipated games, because it was at a time when I actually had, like, you know, vague internet access, albeit dial-up, so your mileage may vary on how good of internet access I really had. But because of that, I actually found out about games a lot more. And one of the perks of being a bee is that we can stick to this honey wall. Grab on and climb up here, it's a blast, no joke. What is over here, actually? Oh, it's a Spraddle. Where the hell does this take us? Okay. Cool. A little Easter egg area with another thingy. The coins do fill the meter, also. That goes for underwater, too, whenever we cross that bridge. One thing I really do think about is how I kind of feel like I go into like a YouTube tutorial mode whenever I'm playing games I'm acutely familiar with, which is very interesting. That's part of the reason why I want to do more like first-time playthroughs. And who might you be? A physician, we presume? No matter, we are in the most vexing predicament and require assistance. The most furious itchiness plagues our entire being. It must be stopped. Please find the source at once. So yeah, this is why a lot of people find this mission questionable. Honeybee Queen is also in Mario Kart for 3DS, Mario Kart 7, which was a very notorious pick. Specifically because Waluigi is not in that game. My thanks, you have shown much bravery, newbie. We trust that we may rely on you in the future. We're still not done, believe it or not. There's a bit more left. So let's hop down. If you touch water, you automatically lose the bee suit, by the way. But up here, we have a series mainstay after a certain point. How are we ever going to get back? Glad to see you're okay, yawn. Oh wow, it's Luigi! We escaped from Peach's castle too! But then we thought Bowser would get us, and then we got lost with Luigi, huh? Oh, I just remembered, we found this power star. I'm sure you need this, so here, take it. They got lost with Luigi, you say? That is very intriguing. Take this power star, what do you say? Hello, Luigi. So yeah, this is the introduction of Captain Toad and the Toad Brigade. Though some argue that I'm pretty sure I've seen arguments that the Toad in this is not the same as the Toad in Captain Toad. And it's like, I don't want to get into the weeds of Mario lore to unpack that statement. Luigi, your name is Luigi, isn't it? That is what I heard from your friends who just arrived. Luigi, it has such a nice ring. Your friends are waiting for you in the garage. I think they want to tell you something, so you'd best hurry on over there. Cool. So yeah, eventually the Toad Brigade will, like, fly around and be in specific galaxies. You also have the Male Toad, which is very helpful. Mr. Luigi! Check it out, I'm a Male Toad and I have a letter for you. Dear Mario, I'm in a faraway place, but I'm alright because you're coming to rescue me. P.S. I hope this gift will come in handy. From Peach. Huh? It's addressed to Mario. Don't be upset, Luigi. Hang in there. Princess Peach included 21 one-up mushrooms in her letter. Would you like them now? Yes, please. Ah, even when she's kidnapped, the princess is so thoughtful. Well, come see me next time there's a mail delivery. Where are we? I want to go home. I'm so homesick. Oh. Hello. Luigi, somehow we made it too. We'll help you get the Power Stars and save Princess Peach. You can count on us, Luigi. We're all in this together. Leave it to us. We're building a starship. This ship is for the Toads. Sorry. Didn't mean to jump on your head. So I guess this place is some kind of mobile space station controlled by that Rosalina lady. Who exactly is she anyway? She's not a witch, is she? Is she? No, that's ridiculous, right? Who is that Rosalina lady? Lumas are going to build us a ship. When it's done, let's go look for Princess Peach and Power Stars. What kind of starship will it be? I can't wait. Well, at least someone's excited. And then, like, the Yellow Toad just wants to sleep, which is, like, you know, just like me for real. Also, thank you for the hydration check, like, half an hour ago. I didn't actually verbally acknowledge it, now that I'm thinking about it. I think we have time for this. Yeah, Loop-de-Loop Galaxy. This one only has one Power Star, but it's like, each one has like several main multi-star galaxies and a handful of like one-off stars. But this is Surfing 101. There's actually a weird quirk in this version, and also 3D All-Stars for the surfing minigame. The cursor doesn't actually work for some reason. Like, in the original, I think you could use the pointer and actually collect star bits, but you can't in this version. And also the 3D All-Stars version. Hi. Around here, we surf on rays. I'm serious, we call it ray surfing. That's what we do. Very creative name. Hey. This is Penguin Paradise. Ray surfing isn't so easy, so listen to what Coach has to say. That cute little guy over there is Ray. That guy. Are you a surfer too? Yes. Oh, but this is your first time ray surfing, right? Well then, let me show you the ropes. Now, let me explain. Try to match the guide on the bottom right. Yeah, that's the basic position. To turn left, twist left from that starting position. Correct, that's how you turn left. To turn right, you've got to twist to the right. Turn left just makes me think of Doctor Who. Yep, that's how you turn right. And all you need to do is hold down B to speed up. That's all you need to know. Now give it a go on the course. By the way, A and B do the same thing in this game, and X and Y do the same thing in this game. And also shaking the controller. But yeah, you can't use the pointer while ray surfing this version and 3D All-Stars. I feel like that's an oversight, but then they didn't fix it in the new version, so I don't know. Realistically, you because you're having to like twist the controller and everything, I wouldn't recommend trying to pick up star bits with the pointer. Like, you'll probably fall off. That's just me. I'm not like the most dexterous, so I don't know how hard it would be to like move the pointer around and also still steer. It also makes me wonder if in handheld mode it still works. If that's like where the oversight comes in. And also I need to actually check the Wii version to see if I'm remembering right that you can actually use it. It's not like a two-player mode thing. Which, by the way, this game does have two-player. One person is just a cursor. In Super Mario Galaxy, they get they get upgraded to controlling a special Luma that can like do a spin attack on enemies. So player 2 gets a lot more to do, but it's still very much like a hand another controller to someone to have them help participate, but also you're not playing a dedicated second character. 101.48, congratulations, you deserve a gold medal, hell yeah. And of course the gold medal in question is a power star. Nice, nice, nice. Actually... Oh, you just say the same thing, cool. But yeah, we're done with that. Piece of cake. But yeah, I feel like I am too good at this game sometimes, not to like toot my own horn or anything. But like the stuff that people like really struggle with, I kind of get through no problem, and it makes me feel kind of bad sometimes. Galaxy complete. So it will say Galaxy complete if you have gotten everything. So there will be cases where we can't get everything on a first go. And again, there is an actual post-game of sorts, because you have to beat the final boss once to unlock a bunch of other missions. So yeah, we're gonna be here for a while. Alright, trouble on the tower. I see, a Wiggler. Alright, something just despawned, something just popped out of existence. Thanks, Draw Distance. Again, there's a lot of things that just upscaling this game kind of shows cracks, unfortunately, by the nature of, that rock just fell from the sky, it was scary. These are ground poundable. Wow, that was a weird way to get our first death, huh? Just getting clipped by a random boulder. Good start. It's not like we're hard up for lives, we're fine. But yeah, that was a very awkward way to get our first death in this playthrough. Hey, maybe that's just getting the bad luck out of the way early. Break this, and this makes a little vine pop up. But, actually, ads are about to start very soon. So I actually am going to pause the game. It's really hard to stand still as Luigi. We're gonna pause the game, and we will continue momentarily.